Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking to you about testing when it comes to hair loss. I've had some questions around which tests are necessary, and so I wanted to kind of break that down for you today. So I'm going to break it down into two different categories. One is downstream testing and the other is upstream. So what I mean by that is when we're looking at downstream, so for example, the symptom that we're talking about right now is hair loss. So that may be due to low iron levels, that may be due to thyroid dysfunction or gut issues, which we've kind of talked about in the previous videos. So even then, we're still looking at downstream causes. So if there's low iron, why is there low iron? So if we start searching for the why behind the low iron, which is then causing the hair loss, we're then looking at the upstream. So when it comes to downstream testing, the things that you do want to look at, again, your iron levels, you want to do a thyroid panel, a full thyroid panel. So that's looking at your TSH, that's looking at free T3, free T4, it's looking at the antibodies. The other thing that you want to do is possibly a micronutrient test, which will test your white blood cell and red blood cell nutrients like magnesium, like zinc, like copper, all the different elements, even your fatty acids, to see what you may be missing. Another test that's also helpful, the gut zoomer. So that's looking at your microbiome, it's looking at the viruses, it's looking at parasites, it's essentially just looking at an overhaul of your gut health to better understand if it's malabsorption that's the issue. One that you can add on to that is something called zonulin, which is a protein in your intestine that will increase when there's some degradation there, so when there's some leaky gut. The last one, of course, my favorite, is the Dutch test. You want to look at your hormones, your estrogen, progesterone, your testosterone. And the reason why I say Dutch test is because we want to look at the metabolites. We don't want to just look at total hormones that you get when you're looking at serum. You want to look at urine, so we can look at the metabolites, we can understand the enzymes and the relationship between certain hormones and how they're actually communicating in the body. So those are the downstream. Now looking at upstream, we want to go a little bit further and understand, okay, is it heavy metals that's blocking that communication of my hormones and my nutrients? So heavy metal testing can be helpful. The other element is infections. So do I still have certain infections in my body, like EpsteinBarr Virus? So testing those. Is mold an issue in my body? So doing like a mycotoxin test can be helpful. And now you're probably thinking, that's a lot of testing that I would have to get done. What I would suggest is talk to your practitioner, talk to someone that knows your story so that you can understand what would be the best course of action to understand what's going on. My recommendation always is to look at those upstream causes, because we can really understand those downstream ones once we get a better understanding of what's the real issue.